Raj, how you doing? Hi there.
Hey Dave, thanks again for that, for helping me with that guy over on Ninth Street.
Right, Ken, how you doing?
I'm doing what are the guy over on Ninth Street? Yeah, never had a bad day.
Never had a bad day, just
Today. Oh. He must
it's
have
always something.
texted me about 10 more times that day. Did you tell him we did it?
Yeah, he's doing good. 98 years old.
You know, he didn't like it,
He's doing well.
but
He lives alone, still lives alone, cooks for himself, does all those things. We're very blessed.
He don't need you. Just take him to the game. He's all right.
That's right. Oh yeah? Did you hurt him?
Huh?
Did you hurt? You ran into him?
We literally ran into him. Coming out of the doctor's office.
Oh. Yeah, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
That's what he told me.
Mhm.
He said some days something up.
Yep. He lost his strength in his hands.
That's what he said.
I think you were saying
Comes Roger.
that was between the neighbors,
Roger,
and I think that was
how you doing?
what precipitated this night.
Hey, we all got pens today, huh?
That was
We all got pens
at
on
the
us there.
center of it.
I'm looking at that budget. We all got
I'll
pens.
show you. I'll show
I
you
am
the-
looking at that budget.
I'll show you the text.
And the miscellaneous.
Yeah. I don't think we heard last night.
She has to bring it up for discussion tonight first.
I was trying to think. I'm like,
But I haven't heard that explanation. I think. I mean,
Well, it's not coming up tonight. It's not on the agenda. Well, if she wants to bring it up, she can. She can't do it tomorrow. It's not on the agenda.
Yeah, it's not on the agenda till the next, council meeting.
Yeah, I was down in Shiloh last night till 6:15. Yes, I was.
okay. I got you.
I didn't look at my text messages. I didn't look at it. It was canceled. Yeah, right. Thursday. I know. I know. It's tomorrow. Thursday.
Crossed my name off there. They told me I put the brace up there. They said they'll call me as soon as the votes are.
And text me.
I'll text you as soon as I know. Man, that's it. That's all we need. That was quick.
Thank you.
See if I have anything.
they bring it.
They're bringing a gift.
Oh, they're bringing it. Oh, for them.
They asked if it was all right. I said, I don't see a problem.
I don't see a problem with that either.
I stopped in your favorite place.
What's that?
New York Park.
Those Senior Fridays. No, we go to the Blue Bitch.
That was it.
My granddaughter, she's 4 years. She loves to say that. She says, "What's your favorite restaurant in the islands?" Blue Bitch Bar. She loves to say it. Wow.
The regular price. My wife and I are going to the beach. Could you make us a slush to go?
Huh? 2 minutes. Oh, you're 6:01.
And I'm off the satellite.
It's probably losing, it's been up there for a couple of months, so it's probably losing
Total
time.
power.
You can start, Dave. Yeah.
So, at the request of council, Laura Stedenfeld from Omnes is here to sort of represent the furniture plan for the Southeast Quad. Just to sort of recap where we are, we did go out to bid. We got a good bid, and I've been working with Laura on making sure the pieces that we get sort of fit the best that they can. So we kind of reviewed everything, and so I'll hand it over to Laura and show you what she came up with.
Thanks for having me back. It's been a year since we looked at this. I know. And the last time we looked at was like everything having to do with Lanes Court, but we're really just focusing on the Southeast Quad here. So part of the goal is, all of these people coming with apartments and the liveliness of downtown now, we really want a place for people to sit and be and feel more vibrant in the city. So this is pretty blank right now. And we know with the hotel and apartments and restaurants coming in that we need a little bit more hospitable space. So that's part of the goal. This is just the other corner here. But we picked out some nice furnishings here. So I'll show you a view of what this actually looks like. But we had this in the previous scheme where there's two 20-foot long curved benches. There's this other mobile, they call it a podium bench. But right now this image has plants in it. The idea is that we would take this bench and just have wood on top of it. And this is cool, like you'll see these in use where kids climb on top of it and people have like little picnics and you can lay on it. You can have like 5 or 6 people sit on it. It's a very cool little pod. We use these on a park in Allentown and this is like very successful and lovely. And then Dave actually picked this one out, which I applaud the choice. There was another bench that we had originally, if you remember, that was like a ring bench that went around the trees, but it was sort of prohibitively expensive. So this is a really nice option where this can grow around the tree as it matures, but this gives people a spot to sit around. And then this is kind of a similar thing where we have planting and then this bench. And the thing about all of these furnishings is that they're movable. So you can actually move these with a lift. And if you have festivals, markets, you want to rearrange any of this, you can do that with equipment. It's not going to be the person in the field moving it themselves. You can't just lift this as one human, but machines can lift this, which is great because that'll give the city flexibility. So this is the plan. This is showing those 2 benches, the long 20-foot ones. And we did locate these, it's actually 11 feet from the back of the curb right here. So in the future, if for some reason you did want to have market tents on this edge right here, that gives you that flexibility in the future. And also this just leaves room for like people to come out of their cars, people to walk by, queue up at the bench. And what's nice is these are double-sided too. So that's the back that you see in the center. So you can sit and look at the circle. You could also sit and kind of feel protected from traffic and look back into the quad here. These are the 2 square benches that are on either side of the tree. And then these are those podium benches. This is the completely wood one in the center. And these are the 2 that have planting in them. And this would probably just have like native perennials coming out the top. Probably Rob Christopher could get a smaller tree that could kind of stay a little bit small there, but green it up and have a little bit of shade. In this plan too, we are showing some catenary lights, but I know Dave is sort of in exploration right now of like the best way to anchor those and how that could work. So that's one part of the design that's a little bit TBD, but we think in the budget that we can carve some stuff out for that, which is good. should point out in this plan too, we included this. These are just showing some market tents, and then this is the stage in the center. This is just to illustrate where this is flexible. And part of the reason that we had the benches off and to the side is because we did want to accommodate the stage that sometimes is there during festivals. And then this is kind of the best view of a lot of what's going on here. This one right here, I like. This kind of tells the full story of the existing planters. Then we have the curved benches, the 2 existing trees that have these square benches around them. And then these are the movable pieces that can kind of go interchangeably. And this is Lane's Court back there, just for context. And then there is room in the budget enough for some of these additional podium benches to go over in front of Crayola. So this is just a really simple design. These are the movable ones, so this is flexible. There are 3 there, and then you can see these in the 3D in context. So they go between the existing trees and then on either side. And this is just showing like the crayons and the markers that are already there, so you can orient yourself. And that's really the design. If you have questions about the benches, the wood is a hardwood, and it's pretty easy to maintain. Like a lot of other municipalities are using those around here. The powder coating, we haven't selected a color, but probably like a blue or a more neutral color we'll pick. But open for any questions or
Dr.
comments.
Ruggles has a question.
Sure.
Can you go back to the,
This one?
one more? Yeah. Maybe it's just the engineer in me, okay? But, the square ones just don't look right there to me, you know, and they seem to be out of place. I recognize you want to get them so that the stage is visible in that, but you know, having the 2 partial circle benches come, and then you kind of go back to the 2 square ones. It just seems to me like round ones there would be a lot better. And if you pull I don't know if you can, but if you could pull the benches back so that they're all in a line coming around there, and you know, just draw the circle, put the benches on the circle, put the circular planters on the circle, and then
Yeah.
they're kind of all in a line. This is, to me, is kind of.
I think we had a cost challenge. Do you remember how much those circle benches were? It was like 40 or something? 30 each. Because that's like a majority of the budget.
I actually like the design. I like the kind of mix that's not everything is uniform, and I think it's sometimes hard. I like looking at it from this angle. I think you get a different perspective of the design. Too repetitive, I think. Too many. I like the mix. I think looking at, I see what you're saying when you look at it from overhead,
Yeah.
Councilman Ruggles, but when I look at the side angle, I like the mix of the shapes and the different types of seating, and it just,
Well,
it has like an interesting look.
if
It draws you in, I think.
If it were like this, I think, again, I think having those square ones there, if you turned them so that one of the edges of them is in line with
Yeah.
the benches,
I had
it
the
would
same.
look a lot better.
It's funny. I had the same instinct when we were laying it out, but
Yeah.
what I realized is there's that existing square for the tree pit right now. So if you did that, you'd have to like re-pour the concrete around the tree pit. Yeah.
Right, but I mean, whether you anchor it with the corner facing out or the corner facing a different direction, doesn't matter. I mean, you're gonna be pouring the concrete, right?
No, these just go on the existing right now. Yeah.
I don't remember from last year. The distance from the existing buildings coming out to where they start is what?
I think it was at least 13 feet because we had an 8-foot cartway and then a 5-foot walkway. Does that sound right, Dave?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's here.
Oh, look here.
Right. Move them where you want them.
Yeah, so this, for scale, this is 20 down here. The yellow line, that, this was part of another study, but this was basically the dining areas outside of the restaurants. Yeah. Those, I believe those are 8 feet. I'll have to double check the other presentation. So this is 10 right here. So I suspect this is about 16 to this zone.
I don't want to speak for somebody, but I think former President Judge was concerned about how far it came out, and I remember us speaking before that wouldn't really affect that breezeway through,
Yeah, that's true.
and it gives him a space that he still wants.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was, Dave.
Yeah, so this, I mean, the blue line here, so this is the clear zone for walking. The yellow is the restaurant area. So we're not infringing upon any of that blue
Okay.
line for walking.
When you say the
And we're well inside of that too. So that's probably like another 5 feet in.
when you say the restaurant area, what exactly are we talking about?
So the
The
seating,
outdoor dining?
seating area. Yeah. So that's all of this yellow zone here.
I think the plan really gives I think we need more community spaces like this for people to hang out. When I go to other cities, this is something I think that we're sometimes missing. And as the city is growing too, I see people hanging out here, I see a lot of people downtown like to grab food from multiple restaurants and eat outside on a nice day. So I think it's really interesting. It's also visually interesting than just having open sidewalk. And I think you and your team did a great job, and we're very lucky to have such a talented team in the city too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Was there any thought to additional seating in that area? I know at times we had talked about having, tables down there, people could play chess or, whatever. This isn't real conducive for that, and I was just wondering if they're, having other removable type tables, chairs that would be able to go into that space.
We just added chessboards at the park, and I think that's where a lot of the recreational activities seem to be going at this point. Not that you can't bring a chessboard or a game board over here.
I think a lot of this area we kind of thought of as the crossroads for people of like, you're waiting for an Uber, you're waiting for a table at the restaurant, like you're maybe taking a break with your kid in between Crayola and something else. So we tried to keep the seating a little bit more flexible. Those kind of things, the chess, I think does really well when it's shady, but this is a relatively sunny area. So not to say that couldn't happen, but that was kind of the vibe of what we were thinking of.
But when I drive through the circle, I see a lot of people sitting around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just trying to think about making more available seating for those people.
Yes, this will give them a lot of seating. And I think with the hotel too, you'll have a lot of people coming and going.
So when we get to public comment, I'll call on. We'll open the floor to public comment now. Mr. Ciminati, you had your hand up?
We have.
plan is to clean up Len's Court and Sitgrave Street, both of them. Well, the good news is that it's flexible, so if there is a problem, we can move it, give you more room. But right now, I believe it's actually 10 feet plus 5 feet, not 8 and 5. I think it's 10 and 5.
Great.
Joe, Mr. Welch.
Excuse me, can we have him, can you
Can
come
you
up?
come to the microphone?
Thank you.
Joe Welsh, loyal and dedicated customer of Josie's Deli through its 42 years of existence, through good times and bad times. I'm just a little bit confused by this, the diagram that's up there and the measurements, because Josie's was granted a license by the city for an area 18 feet in front of the deli to accommodate 32 chairs. Is that part of this plan or not part of this plan? You told us to apply for it. Who granted the license? I didn't grant it. Well, you told us to apply for it, and we applied, and the engineering department came out with an outdoor cafe license. We have the license. Okay. So is that area just 8 feet there? Or is it 7 feet? That was from a former study. So I deny it. I just wanted to make sure, because we went through a number of Zoom calls and haven't been able to meet all the Zoom calls. The last Zoom call said that we could apply up to 6 feet, that's what we did. I recall, we got the license, and then. Yeah, I don't really know anything about the license, but it says 8 feet, that's.
And the nice thing about the furniture is mobile. Where you find out that it's not enough space, we can go either direction. That's the beauty of it.
That yellow line wasn't where we were able to only put 7 or 8. That was that was part of what Omni did when the rail caused a lot of problems prior to that. That is no longer an issue. Easiest question I ever asked.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any comments?
So if this looks good, there's probably a 24-week lead time, and there's probably no point in putting anything out. You never get it in time for visibility.
I wouldn't say, yeah. Project.
Spring 26.
And then I don't even know how 8 Center Square is going to affect. I mean, we met with the developer and the contractor, and they are going vertical with that project. So I think space is going to be tight. But so we'll see how all that works out. They don't really have a way down there yet. I think they're going to work mostly
From Sitgraves. Any council members have any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. See you in a year.
Okay. We'll move on to committee reports or questions. We have the Pie and Tart 15-minute zone, and we have the Roseanne Flowers tenant parking, which you did get a copy of the letter that was sent back in August of '25. So let's open up the Pie and Tart 15-minute spot.
Mayor, regarding this one, I'm a no currently. We are increasing parking meters. We're increasing parking. We're out looking for parking all the time. We're dealing with the county and other businesses to get lots and taking another spot in that area. And I know they moved down a block. Taking a spot in that area, I just don't see how that makes sense.
We also, just to add on to that, we do have 15-minute spots in the garage right behind the building,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
which I do see people using, and they're usually open. I use them myself when I have to grab like things that I can't carry back home. It is really convenient. I haven't really had trouble, even on the weekends, utilizing them. Since this came up, I've been keeping an eye on it like Friday through Sunday.
My concern about 15-minute spot is that everybody's going to want one.
Yeah.
We give it to people like Josie's here tonight. We give it to Josie's because it's a takeout. I mean, literally, people go in there, get a sandwich, and take it home, or take it back to their office or something. So I see the need for a 15-minute spot, but not every business needs a 15-minute spot. And right now, we've been granting them to everybody.
I think that the spot in front of Josie's in Center Square is utilized for other businesses as well.
Oh, yeah.
I've used it to come in and grab sandwiches. And I've gone to Amigos the other day. I stopped there before I headed to Clinton. So
I think your point is a good point. If there's a 15-minute spot in a certain radius of a building,
there's more than one.
that's it. I mean, you know, people can walk a little bit. They don't have to be right
Yeah,
in front of that building.
15-minute spots are for everybody. I mean, they're like,
Yeah.
they're not like our
Yeah,
handicap spots where our handicap spots are for anybody that's handicapped as well.
Council of your budget, Mayor, the underlying assumption on increasing the parking meter rates is that it will create more turnover in the downtown. So when you see those rates increase, you're going to see turnover, and that's just not me saying it. That's just an observation in the market. Yeah, and talking specifically to Allentown and Bethlehem.
I mean, the other thing is too, for most of the week you can find a spot and you don't have to pay for a full hour with the meters as well. So
Yeah.
that's another consideration.
Well, I mean, right now, the prices, they may be too low, but if you have higher prices, you're gonna see more turnover.
Mhm.
You're gonna see, you're not gonna see parking
I
there all
hope
day.
so, yeah.
They're not gonna just get an hour. They're gonna say, well, it'll only be 30 minutes, so I'll just get half an hour.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's good for the retailers. And quick in and out type of grab and go businesses. I mean, you're paying $250 for a dinner. I don't think $3 is gonna affect you. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it would be good to see data on that after 6 months and a year as well.
Yeah. No, for sure.
We can grab that from the meters, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I'll say mid-year.
That'd be a bad idea. Is that whoever gets a 15-minute spot has to pay the differential. I mean,
Well, a 15-minute spot, whether it's 15 minutes or you can park 3 hours, the price is still the same for 15 minutes.
yeah, but it's going to be empty for a greater period of time.
But
than-
that's the problem with the.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm all for the handicap spots. Let me say that before I start. But the handicap spots go vacant because there's no handicapped people downtown that just don't come down. But every quadrant has a handicap spot.
You're mandated, aren't you?
Yeah, we have to have so many per so many regular ones. Well, it looks like there's no agreement on the Pie and Tart 15-minute parking spot. So we'll move on to Roseanne Flowers, the developer of the Moose Building. I know, Mr. Pinnabone, you don't remember when it was the Moose because you're so young.
I don't remember. It was always apartments.
No, it was
No.
Moose.
Well, I mean, I'm saying I
Was a
remember
lodge.
only a apartment.
It was a Moose Lodge.
Big C used to go there all the time.
Should've seen the big
Mayor,
cage they had behind the building.
The what?
The big cage they had behind the building.
Mayor, I know that we had a long conversation with these folks before when they came in and explained to us their concerns about this. I don't see us doing this only for this reason. If we do this, we open up Pandora's box for others to ask for the same thing. And
I don't know
think
how
we're
many
for that.
others there are. That's why I tried to determine that. Where they have more than 6 but less than
Well, that's what we cut.
200.
That was the cutoff, 6,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
6.
Mayor, what does the National Building have now that they converted to?
Well, they're a new conversion. This one, if it's granted, it would be grandfathered because it was existing before we had the parking permit program.
So I had a couple of residents message me in the last week from there, asked about street parking, and I told them no, but they can go to the Third Street Garage, which is right across the street.
Right.
And they all said,
I
That's
told
good.
Mrs. Flowers that she should just raise her rates
And,
50 or 60. Her rates have gone up.
Right.
So she has the $70 per house per unit to give for the
Parking
garage.
so I told two of
And
them,
it's a half a block.
and they said that's fine. They can walk right through the Social Security lot.
Yeah.
There you go, right there.
Yeah,
So
it's really
I'm
convenient.
a no as well on this.
And there is an elevator, the elevator access there as well for anyone who doesn't want to use the stairs. I'd have to concur with that too. I did email back on the 29th because my main concern was how many other owners would be able to request a similar exemption. And I did talk to Joel. I touched on it a little bit with him, and he shared my concern, Solicitor Shear.
My big thing is in her letter, she wants to talk about security at the garage. Well, Atlanta now provides security.
Yeah.
There's a security person there in this garage. And there hasn't been any crime in the garage in 18 years that I'm here. So I don't know what she's talking about crime. I mean, I know that the perception is that they don't want to park in the garage because of crime. I know that. But it's a perception, it's not reality.
And we also have security cameras in the garage as well, and so
Well,
the
that-
vehicles are safe there. Or if something did happen, if you're parked on the street, you might not have a camera nearby.
I think
If
the other
something
thing is
happened.
that the garage is well lit.
I left a planning meeting at almost 1 a.m. a few months back. I felt safe. I was walking by myself on the 3rd level, and never had a problem in the garage.
Agreed.
Okay, I'll take it as consensus. Is there anything else to come before City Council?
Mayor, while we're talking about parking, as you know, I came to you already. I met with Lewis. The numbers work. Your budget increase on the
Can we
park.
talk about this in our budget hearing?
You want to note it down?
I'd rather not. If we get on the budget, we'll be here all night.
All right, that was just parking, but that's fine. That's
Oh,
all.
good.
I wasn't bringing up the other stuff, just
Go ahead.
the parking. Well, I just talked about. We got a lot of complaints about the $3 meters. Nobody complained about the $2.75. It was all the 3. I propose we make them all 3, lower the garage to $2.25, because the goal is to push people to the garage. I
Right.
think that, and we'll still net an extra $100,000 a year by doing so, because we generate more from the meters than we do from the garage.
Well, I want to, when we come up during the budget sessions, I want to bring the math for all of council. So we'll bring that to you. I mean, I think you did your homework with Mark. Is that correct? Is that where you got those numbers from?
Me, you, Mark, and then me and Crystal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just, before anything, I just want to look at those numbers and then validate it to council. I know you and I talked about it, but I want to see the number crunching from Mark. Okay, I don't doubt you, but I'm just saying, that's your intention. Let me just validate those numbers, okay?
Any other questions? I would like to hold the schedule the budget hearings. The administration will schedule which departments go. We're probably going to do police, fire, public safety first. We'd like to do that at the next Tuesday meeting, and then every Tuesday thereafter, every Tuesday meeting thereafter, we would have budget hearings. And we'll have
Up
4.
until one Thanksgiving, right?
One is right before Thanksgiving,
Correct.
yes,
When are you starting, Mayor?
in 2 weeks.
We'll,
So
we'll
we'll
put
be
the,
that
we'll put the
Tuesday.
schedule
We'll
on
put the
paper.
schedule together and send it to you, by the end of the week.
Yeah.
That will be the 11th, 25th, right?
Do we need to vote on it tomorrow?
No.
No, we
No
don't have to
voting.
vote on it.
That's only right.
The only thing, Mayor, I have just one thing, one administrative thing, because I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. I was invited to the governor's residence, so I'll be attending an event tomorrow with, Governor Shapiro. I sent out a correspondence that I sent to GEDP. I just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of it. And I sat down, because in that correspondence, it explains what it's about. I sat down with Jared first and foremost before I sent him the correspondence. I let him know that I was gonna send him the letter. And the letter basically says, because we entered into the lease agreement with the county, and because we, part of the consideration for that lease agreement is for the city to repair the surface parking lot. Starting next year, not this year, the city would utilize that lot during Bacon Fest, and any revenue generated from that lot would go towards the repair of that lot. Once that's complete, we can flip it back to GDP.
That seems fair.
So I sent Jared that notice, and I wanted you guys to know too. The timing of it, that would happen this year, I would have moved that same concept this year, but GDP already started the planning, and this was later on. It took a little bit longer to get this approved. So I just didn't think it was fair, but I'm confident that even after this weekend's performance with Garlic Fest, which and the mayor will have some of the numbers. The Garlic Fest parking revenue was better than last year's revenue, including the county lot, which was solid for us. I'm confident that we'll be able to bring some revenue to really offset the cost for these improvements. So that's the goal on that. So we have an idea on the revenue, and Crystal, this is to your question that you had asked me. We have an idea on the revenue. We're just putting it together. We know high level was better than last year, at least at first glance. But we have asked
Double.
We have asked.
Not quite double.
Not quite double. No. It was more, not double. See, we gotta look at the numbers again.
$7,000 more.
Yeah. but
38 versus 45.
The departments are putting their expenses together. That
Okay.
takes a
I
little
know
bit of
it'll take some time,
Yeah.
but just as we're discussing other budget-related things,
time. Yeah.
we talked about it a little bit, specifically insurance last year, and then I never really saw the numbers for
Well, there are
that.
3 festivals that we co-sponsor and pay the insurance. One is Heritage Day, one is Garlic Fest, and one is Bacon Fest. Garlic Fest and Bacon Fest because they're so big, and we usually make more money on parking than we cost. And
Yeah.
we did it definitely this year because Garlic Fest was just absolutely crowded.
Louis, I know Councilwoman Rose asked for it. Could we get a full P&L report from Garlic and then Bacon next month?
We'll get you what we do is look at overtime costs for the weekend. Not necessarily the costs that are incurred for setup during the day, because our employees are here during the day, but we look at overtime costs and anything associated during that overtime period, but mostly it's overtime costs.
Right.
We'll try to generate some of the other costs, like materials, if you will, like total all-in costs.
I know that some things will be approximate. I am curious specifically about the insurance as well and the costs related to that, and also I did.
There is no cost related to it. That's why we cover them.
But so we pay
don't
nothing.
get a bill for insurance.
Okay.
We have an
So
annual.
we don't have any special event permit costs related to it.
It's an annual. It's covered by our annual.
So there's
budget.
no increase because of the festivals.
No.
In the quote, at all.
No. Well, it wasn't when we were the classroom.
Yeah, let me.
I don't know how BSI
If you could
is.
Let me
double check that. But also, I did also share some PLCB related, just questions that I had because I'm not familiar. I just want to make sure that, like, from a liability standpoint,
Well,
that we're
the
good.
PLCB issue, when you sent that is something that they put down the entire festival footprint, and it is approved. And I sent out the letter.
Okay, I just wanted
To
to
the
confirm
PS.
that because I know that Arts Quest for Music Fest, for example, like covers the entire area versus
Right.
relying on restaurant permits and
Just
catering permits.
a matter of process, like myself, the CA does not get involved in a lot of those items. I'm now getting involved just because Carlton's not here.
Okay,
So, but I mean, the mayor answered the question, but we'll get all that detail together.
thank you.
Anything else? We'll have it scheduled for you by the end of the week. But first up will be public safety.
Good.
Dave will be the longest one because he has the biggest department, and that's usually the third hearing.
December 31st.
Oh, we've been here already. We've been here at that
Oh, yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe
You know,
more.
Mayor, on the last note, 'cause I won't be here, we are looking at doing contractual arrangements now. I wouldn't call it a contract per se, because council's got to approve a contract, but more of a use agreement. And we worked on the first one with, there was an ancillary event
Lehigh Valley
that
Music Festival.
that was occurring. I had a discussion with Jared on some of the same concerns you had.
Oh, okay.
And I told Jared that just moving forward, I'd feel more at ease from a risk management perspective by having really all of the rules in place on what you can and cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, Garlic Fest is not, Garlic Fest is not going to be an exception here. That every event that I think we're going to have is going to have the same things. Just because
Yeah,
there
it's,
was another-
I'm not just pinpointing that one necessarily. It's, we have to make sure everything is done the same way.
Yeah, no,
For every festival, that our liability is limited.
Well, as I told the staff yesterday, we don't approve, we have not
Today.
approved. Today, yeah, that's right,
Tuesday
this morning.
We talked about it this morning.
We-
Yeah, we talked all.
We
about
did a
these issues.
post-mortem on the
Okay.
Garlic Fest, and we
Yeah.
talked about, I've denied more festivals than I've approved this year. And I deny them, the only reason the Lehigh Valley Music Festival was approved by my office was because Allentown and Bethlehem did it. It was supposed to be a valley-wide event. And,
That was the event that was occurring at the same time.
yeah, it was at the same time as the
Okay.
Garlic Fest. And
Yeah,
that
that's too much.
should have never happened.
Yeah.
And that was somebody else's fault.
Yeah,
Louis, I will say, even with that, traffic flowed great
Well, that's
in the
because
city this week.
one of the things that I think is most important is we require all the festivals to be within the ring road. So the ring road has to stay open.
But like on the outside, 4th Street,
Well, you
Ferry
can't-
Street, Spring Garden, it was moving great.
we will never, I don't care how big the festivals get, we will never close the Circle and Larry Holmes Drive at the same time, because then you have nowhere to go.
So
Yeah,
remember
that
that
would
when
be a
Louis
nightmare.
presents the Sal Panto Festival.
No,
We're keeping that right there in the circle.
Well, Frank, I do want to say that the LCB issue is an important issue, and again, I think, and the mayor addressed that, but that was the tip of the iceberg. Like the logistics that go on, like the pre-meetings that we have with the team internally on every event, on every big event, is a lot. So these meetings have been occurring like for months, and then they grow at the end.
I went to the first logistics meeting for, I guess it was Heritage Day, basically to tell the staff that they don't have to do what they want, what the people ask for. They have to the city has to function. So it's the police, fire, emergency management, public works. I went to them because I would go to the meeting and they would just do whatever they wanted. The person would do wanted. Oh, well, we're going to put for example, the stage was not in the middle of the intersection like it was for Clam Jam, because that blocks the ring road. No, you want the stage there? We'll put the stage there, but it's going to be north of the intersection, because it has to be. We can't close the ring road. And now with Pine Street being so wide, they can use Pine Street.
That was good.
And actually, that music festival, we limited the alcohol consumption to a quarantined area. And it only could be beer, just because we couldn't. We also did not provide security or also the cleanup, and there was language in their use agreement that they had to provide both. And if we were to then patrol the area, PD or our health inspector, and we saw deviations from this agreement, we would shut down their small festival that was occurring.
Yeah.
So that was
I
a
didn't,
little.
I didn't even know it was going on, I'll be honest. I didn't
know.
hear
Well,
anything
neither.
about it.
Well, the problem was they used, their website was referring to Garlic Festival. If you're going down to Garlic Festival, stop by it and see us.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it advertised or anything.
When I went by there, I went down and there was a guitar player on stage with a harmonica. That was it.
No,
There was no one there.
but
There was a food truck, one food truck.
That's what I see.
anyway, our postmortem this morning discussed all that, and then we'll wrap everything up. And I'm not sure if we'll get it tomorrow, but within the next 2 weeks, we'll have something.
No, I appreciate. I didn't expect a
All right.
immediate response. I know these things take time. I hope cleanup went well. That looked like
No.
a nightmare.
Dave, you want to give a cleanup report?
That was the worst I've ever seen it. And I walked the dogs
It was
after
worse.
Sunday,
It was
and
not a good situation.
and your team did a great job cleaning up, but the
We did a great
oil and the garbage left was
We could improve.
a mess.
The garbage was excessive. I'm really not sure. I've never seen that before. I just think that I think some of the vendors just decided not to remove the stuff and kind of left it there because when we came in Monday morning, we were shocked.
I've never seen it like that before.
Me neither. And I think another thing we have to kind of tighten up a little bit is overstaying the event time. Because there were still vendors selling at 8 o'clock. We were supposed to be cleaning by 6, so we were a little off on that as well. So I think in the future, I think event management right now, Carlton not being there is, some things kind of falling through the cracks a little bit. But that's one thing is just making sure that the event organizer understands that when they're supposed to be out, we have our staff scheduled to come in and clean up and run the street sweeper and do all those good things. And if the tents are still set up, we can't.
The intent
Yeah.
is to come in Monday morning and not realize there was a festival on
Yeah,
Saturday.
usually
That's
it's
the
like
standard
that.
of care, is that on Monday you didn't know there was an event before, and we just got a little behind the eight ball.
You guys did a good job cleaning up though.
But
You
some
did-
of the
yeah,
vendors
absolutely.
will not be given another right to come back because we ultimately control the vendors with a health license. And if they don't get a health license, they can't be there. And we will have to find out who they were because the grease on the sidewalks was really bad.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you have a lot of new sidewalks in town and everything as well, and
Yeah.
it's just a shame. It's hard to get that grease out.
Well, it permeates through the
Mhm.
cement, the concrete.
Hey, unrelated to the festival, so with the budget coming up, I know we talked about it, I've been asking for 2 years. I feel we have to live stream these committee meetings. We have to. Today we just talked about we just discussed, we had discussion on Pine Tar and the Moose. We're gonna vote on it tomorrow. People don't.
Do me,
This is being live streamed.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it has been for a while too.
Yeah,
I know it was, but.
I go back and reference
There's
our
no
videos.
camera on.
I
He's
don't know,
he's
but
No, they're
controlling it
done
from home.
automatically.
It's mobile.
I thought it was.
But
Hey,
when
Ray
the
told me it
cameras
was.
go on, the lights go on. There's no lights on.
Well,
I would think that one in the back would be the only one that would
we
be
can,
on.
we can
I'll
double,
ask
we can
you.
double check it. If you really want to assure that, honestly, like, double check it, but for your own peace of mind.
yeah, it's
Cos-
going right now.
Okay, then there you
No, I
go.
don't need to double check. If it's on, it's on. I didn't think it was, and Mayor said it wasn't, so I thought.
Okay,
They've been live streaming.
yeah, I thought we handled that sometime back.
I
You're
thought we did.
you're currently live.
The speaking of that, the microphones will be replaced on by the end of October. Was the new date that they're waiting for parts that that are back ordered, but the microphones will pick everything up versus. I mean, when I call in, there's some people you just can't hear unless they're talking directly into that microphone. You don't hear them. When they talk into the microphone, you hear well. And the zoning board and the planning commission are horrible when it comes to that. They sit back here and expect it to
Yeah.
be picked up.
Yeah, you need a microphone that are used for
Or
plays.
put the microphone, the new microphone's gonna pick up everything.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Kind of used for plays.
it's going to pick up everything. So when you come in at 10 of and talk to Bazin, I hear you. I heard you in Italy, 4,500 miles away.
That's 'cause you were on the phone.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Right. Are do you say, meeting adjourned in Italian?
I don't know.
Well, that's gonna be your homework for this next.
Finale. This is the final verdict. Anyone else? Okay, committee meeting's over.
Thank you.
Thank you.